I've never been particularly good at celebrating, but now I think really is time to celebrate. We've defeated the Coviet Union. All over Europe and North America, the Nazi passports are being dropped and the restrictions are being eased, and biomedical fascism is on the back foot. So who's responsible for this victory? Well, I think there's a number of groups. The first one are obviously the people that refused the Britney Spears. You know, it took a lot of guts to do that. You had to go against the herd and the consensus. The other group that was probably even more admirable were those that initially got tricked. They took the Britney Spears, but they refused to download and use the Nazi passports because they knew it to be wrong. Those groups in particular, you know, I've got a lot of admiration for those people. It would have been very easy for them to just go along with it once they'd been tricked and tried to double down on their mistake. But many of those people, especially here in Finland, they refused the Nazi passport. And also entrepreneurs. There was quite a lot of businesses here that just refused to operate it. And that's ultimately why the Nazi passport and the bio-fascist state has failed, which is absolutely fantastic. So what it shows to me is that people power really does work. A lot of this, when I was teaching, there was a lot of very conventional, defeatist, consensus huggers. They would always say, well, what's the point in you boycotting XYZ? It won't change anything. Well, this is a classic example of where people power worked. They needed like 90% of people to download the Nazi pass and use it and keep on queuing up for the Britney Spears. And it only took between 25 and 30%, I would estimate, of refuseniks that crashed it. And as I say, these people are the heroes. Obviously now what we're seeing is that there are some people who were part of the project and now they've had a change of mind themselves. So what would I say to the free riders, the people that regain their freedom on the basis of sacrifices made by others, you know, people that gave up their jobs rather than get the medicine and conform with the Nazi passports? I would say to these free riders, go and look yourself in the mirror, take a good look. You're a fascist. You've got the potential, or you've proven it actually. You went along with it all. You went along with biomedical fascism. You believe in discrimination according to medical status. From my point of view, you're a very, very dangerous person, because when the external environment is right, you'll go along with fascism and Nazism. In the 1930s, you'd have been one of those people that would have joined the Nazi party to get ahead and persecuted Jews. So you need to take a good long look at yourself in the mirror. People like me, we need to be very wary of you, because you've got the potential to inflict a great deal of harm on others. It's not that I hate you. It's more the case I see you as being dangerous. You have the potential to create absolute hell on earth. So maybe you should go to the tattooists and go and have a tattoo on your forehead. I am a Nazi. I support Nazism, because that's what you are. Okay, so as a Christian, though, I do believe in redemption. So I think you need to apologise, not to me or to other human beings, but to the big man upstairs for what you've done. And you also need to hope as well that you were one of those that got the saline Britney Spears, because I think many of the biomedical fascists, they are going to pay a personal price for their willingness to comply with fascism and these passports and medical discrimination. My own personal feeling is my deepest contempt is for the NHS GPs and others that actually did the Britney spearing in exchange for NHS cash bonuses. You know, for me, a very special place in hell awaits you. Again, it's not my say, but sadly, I think it's highly likely. As is the parents that got their children Britney speared. for little more, you know, the so-called disease, you know, that killed 82-year-olds. You know, the deadly plague that killed 82-year-olds, that children were dropping dead from, like never, nowhere in the world. You went along with that, and you got your own flesh and blood arm speared for what amounted for little more than conformity and maybe a few social media likes. Shame on you. As I say, I think these people are very, very dangerous and they need to be watched in the future. So that's all that I want to say, really, is that people power works. It only took 25 to 30% of people not to go along with it to defeat it. So that's a very, very important lesson, is that we must always stand up for what's right, even if we're in a minority. Minorities still can have a lot of power. We defeated the Coviet Union. We defeated biomedical fascism, and we should give ourselves a massive pat on the back for that. And the good news is that along the way, well, even myself, I always thought that there was a fair deal of corruption, but I never imagined just how corrupt society would be. So we just need to keep the pressure on these scumbags. And I think I'll do a video about that tomorrow. So, God bless.